G'day guys, if you're enjoying the MacPack podcast half as much as we're enjoying bringing it to you, the best way that you can help us out is by passing it on to a friend.
That's right. Share a little clip or send them the full show and say, skip to this minute mark for the greatest laugh of your of your Friday. Brighten up their Friday by sending them a link to the MacPack.
Exactly right. G'day and welcome to the MacPack.
We're back.
My name is Jamie Kenner and to my left this week in order the biggest party animal on the pod. It's my little brother Joe. How are you, Joe boy?
Going great. I was out partying on Saturday night, and do I have a story to tell? Yes, I do.
And to my right, coming in at 6'1", as he does each and every week, it's the baby brother of the pack, who we call Junior Boy. Junior Boy, how are you?
Joey's annual party. He made it.
Annual?
That's right, mate. Annual party.
We'll be chatting about Joey's big, nice house on the turf.
Yeah,
One
yes.
time a year, Joey goes out.
It's like Christmas. Riley, you're also discussing a nightclub in Bali.
That's
Joe,
right.
does that make you excited?
Trendsetter.
More Bali stories coming in hard and fast.
Very exciting. I've got a bit of a sleeping dilemma at the moment.
Boring.
Plus, Joe, you have a bit of a guard dog, everyday hero. And boys, we have a huge announcement about next week's guest. It's a massive app. Let's get into it. Boys.
Brother Mingo.
How are we all? Well.
I'm living it up. I was out Saturday night. Saturday night. So right. Shabba-da-boo.
Where did you go, Joey?
I went to Honky Tonk.
Honky.
Honky Tonk Blues, the
talked-
best place to go in for
We talked about this on radio on Saturday.
We
Joey
did,
was
and-
so excited. Riley was somehow more excited about the
More
idea.
excited.
Honky Tonk is so good.
It is an alternate reality where cowboys still control the world.
Like, yeehaw!
You head into the Wild West.
They got the Star Spangled Banner painted on the wall.
And I cried when I saw it.
Even at Seasons on the weekend, the most amount of cowboy hats I have ever seen in one location.
Yeah,
that wasn't specifically like a Western film.
Yeah, country music is coming back big. Last year with obviously Shaboozey,
Oh, Shaboos.
Morgan Wallen, is that
Yes,
the guy's name?
yes.
And Post Malone. And also Beyonce put out a country album.
And one country album of the year.
Yeah, so country is back. Cowboy hats are back.
Honky Tonk Blues is
Dueling in the
popping off.
street while the tumbleweed blows by his back. And I was enjoying it with my buddies
Nice.
at Honky Tonk. But there was a bit of chaos going on in the chat.
Oh, chat, is this
Well,
real?
but everyone was unplugged. Everyone was, obviously in the West, we didn't have phones. So no one was really looking at it. So one of the lads had a bit of trouble getting in to Honky Tonk
Right.
on account of the fact that he didn't have his ID.
Ooh.
He said he has a digital ID. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know if he meant a photo of it or... I think over East they do digital IDs.
Is he
Anyway,
from over East or is that
No,
just
he's
a
from
random
here, yeah.
fact? Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, and in Hawaii, they just do whatever the fuck they want. In
So-
Bali, you can't drink the water. Any other random facts from around the world?
So he wasn't there, and he said that so he had to leave because he wasn't let in. And then he said he had a bit of a run-in with the bouncer when he was trying to... He asked the bouncer, what is the address here so I can tell the Uber where to pick me up from. And he said the guy grabbed me by the shoulder and shoved me away. So he was not having a good time
Wow. That is
with
an
the
angry
bouncer.
secchi.
Do the security guards at Honky Tonk also have to wear cowboy hats?
Yeah, they do a lot of this town ain't big enough for the both of us kind of gear. They call everyone partner.
They put you in a lasso. And
Yeah,
drag you
they
around.
hog tie people, and they're definitely on horses. So yeah, he had a bit of trouble. He was heading home, but the night wasn't over.
No, never is.
He decided. I think he would have been dressed as a cowboy. I didn't see him before
What
he got
time did he get denied entry?
there. At around 8:30.
Oh, the night is
So
still
early.
young. Plenty of time to go home, get the ID, and return.
Early. So not only did he go home and get the ID, but because he had the run-in,
Oh.
he decided he needed a disguise.
Oh.
So
So is he dressed up as a cowboy?
I think he would have been dressed up as a
Were
cowboy.
you, or was Did you dress up as a cowboy?
No, I didn't.
Did anyone else?
A lot of people were, yeah.
Okay, just not you. Are you too
You're
cool
too
for
cool.
that?
A lot of people were also not.
Oh,
It was
okay.
50. It was basically if someone owned a cowboy hat, they were wearing it. Otherwise, normal dress.
Right.
Anyway, so
It
he
changes you, man.
Yeah.
he decides that he's gonna come back, but he needs a disguise. So he's headed home and he's dapped up the disguise,
That's one of the most terrifying disguises
Is
of all
that-
time.
which is one of those.
Wearing like a 420 shirt.
It's one of those hats.
You wouldn't get let in based
Yeah.
on that alone.
If anything, that makes you stand out more.
He's gone home and put on one of those hats that has.
It's like a Rastafarian hat.
Yeah,
is that-
yeah. It's
I
got
don't
the
think I would
dreadlocks
be able
attached to it.
Push that man's shoulder if I tried. He is so strong.
And so he's got the disguise, and everyone in chat is going,
Chat, is this real?
"This is insane!" Like, if
Even
you
like
saw
the
a man
hemp
dressed
glasses.
yeah, he's also
Looks-
got like John
look like John
Lennon
Lennon.
glasses, and he's doing like a serious face.
Yeah, he looks
Staunch.
like he's
Why,
serious.
Where is he sitting? It's so dark.
It's
in
so
that
dark.
room.
He's anyway.
What time was that one sent? Just so we
Uh,
get a nice depict. No, the photo alone. What time was the photo sent?
the first one was sent at 9:30.
Okay, so an
So
hour.
an hour later, he's donned
Fuck, what a night.
and he's headed back in. And then when he gets there, he says, "So now he's arrived at it's around 10:05."
Yeah.
He's back at the venue.
Yeah, he's back, and he goes, "The line is long." So he's obviously in line.
Yeah.
By
Wait,
himself.
Yeah, by himself.
Looking like that.
Yeah, and then
This is like my worst. I would have so much social anxiety about every element of this. This is like my Mount Everest of anxiety.
and then 15 minutes later, and no one replied to the line is long thing because obviously we're living in the moment as
Yeah,
cowboys.
yeah. Untouched.
So then about 20 minutes later, he goes, "They recognize me." Which is just hilarious to, if you're the bouncer, you kick someone out just as a cowboy. 2 hours later, they're back dressed as a Rastafarian.
And was it a bad thing that they recognised him?
I think they were like, "Yeah, mate, you're not getting
But he had his ID now, or not?
I think he must have had his ID.
Because why would you fucking go
otherwise,
back?
But I don't think he got
But
let
that
in.
seems. But like, what did he do to get?
What did he do?
What
for
I
the
don't
rest of the
understand is
night?
the reason he wasn't allowed in was because of the ID, correct?
Yeah.
So why, when he then brought the ID, were they still like, no, fuck you?
Maybe the fact that he came donned in disguise, they thought this guy is up to something.
He must have bartered with them after he got
Yeah.
denied entry
Yeah.
because of the ID.
I'd like their version of events
Yeah.
after the whole.
Yeah, this guy was
Digital
absolutely
ID.
hammered, causing trouble. We said, "Buddy, not tonight."
Was he pissed?
I don't
You'd
know.
have to have something in your system to,
To
dress,
dress
like
like
that and
that,
be like,
yeah.
this will work.
It was just hilarious to me, just thinking like you're in the costume, you get up there, they're like, "Oh, you're back." You're like, "No, the costume." Yeah.
What do you
I don't know.
But I thought, I loved it. He was keen to get down for
What did he?
for his mate's birthday. I think he just went home
Oh.
because no one was seeing these messages
What a
when they were
night.
coming in.
Imagine-
So Uber there, Uber home, over there, Uber home again.
The wig, dry cleaning for the wig.
Yeah, wow. It's double the amount of Ubers that you'd usually need on a night out.
And no one saw him. No one went out to see him. Or you didn't think like, see, if it was my mates, we'd be like, oh, you can't get in? Fucking no worries. We'll go to a different place.
Yeah, well, no one like really saw the messages coming in. It's one of those big chats, so I think a lot of people might have it on mute.
And he went by himself.
I don't know, to be honest. Yeah,
Seems like we need to be getting around these individuals. He seems like very wholesome
Yeah,
and very
I think-
committed to the cause.
yeah,
and
so-
everyone else is like, yeah, didn't get in. Good luck. That's not really unlucky, man.
yeah, that's the thing. It was a crazy plan. It could have worked. It was the dedication to get in for his mate's birthday, and
I
I
love
reckon
it.
good on him. Next time, good luck.
All right, Junior, where you got back from Bali a couple of weeks ago. The bowels are slowly starting to realign within your system.
Finally.
But the stories, they're pouring out just as loosely as your bowels were only
Just
a
as
couple of weeks
stinkly.
ago.
That's right. But we've got some interesting things to touch on first up about Bali Belly since returning home to Western Australia.
Have you seen an Australian doctor since you got back?
I went and saw the pharmacist the day I got back and made him check like all the medicine they gave me was above board.
Yeah, good to do that a week after you've been taking it
I had
quite
no option.
quite religiously.
I had no option.
Imagine if they said, nah.
Oh my god, you're done.
Like, what would your response be if you brought all the shit in there and they were like, Wouldn't have
Holy.
thought. Would not have thought you having
This
all these
was
together.
banned in 1890.
I wouldn't have been surprised, to be honest. Some of the packaging was like
Nah, good people. Though.
broken English on the packaging as well. It was
Yeah.
like take daily twice.
It was just the
What does that mean?
the jar with the skull and crossbones. Are you sure we should be taking?
Yeah. Do not consume. Not fit for human consumption. But, boys, when I got home from Bali, I noticed that the Australian water tasted weird. And I found out why.
Okay.
It's like it's an actual thing that happens.
Compared to the bottled water you'd been having.
Just in general, all Australian water just tasted funny.
Yeah, but comparison to what though? Like, if you're enjoying this week's episode of the podcast, the best thing that you can do to show us a little bit of support is to share it with your mates. Whether it's a story on Instagram, a private message to a pal,
A DM.
slide into those DMs, do whatever you need be, or even just like message your mum and be like, these guys, they swear a lot, but like
I prefer Gmail as
they
well.
mean,
Gmail
yeah,
works.
Gmail's good.
Gmail's good.
It's slow, like it's a very slow and formal
work?
way.
I click on any link I get. In my Gmail.
Yeah, nice, fair enough. So yeah, chuck it on your Instagram story or send it to a mate. But whatever you do, we just want to grow this little baby pack.
Fantastic. And then every week you can chat about the pack with your pack.
There you go. Exactly.
It's the normal taste of H2O.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
So,
well, back
yeah,
in. But
you
you've had Balinese water.
Yeah, but it's still water.
Okay.
That's not the point here. So H2O is a substance which contains 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom.
Fantastic.
But so it tastes the same everywhere. No matter
Okay,
where
yeah,
you go,
fantastic. Yeah.
But when I got back to Perth and I started drinking the water, I was like, why is it weird now? Why does everything just taste really funny?
Yeah.
And I did some research into it. Because I'm not the only Australian who's noticed this.
Right.
This is a thing, guys. I put it in Google and I was like, why does water taste different now that I've returned home after getting Bali belly? And apparently, it's because your digestive system is disrupted by the unfamiliar bacteria, which changes the makeup of your saliva.
Oh, wow.
Let me read this word for word.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'll
a
give
good
you the
idea.
layman's terms. Your digestive system is still recovering from a disruption caused by unfamiliar bacteria, potentially leaving a lingering taste due to changes in your gut flora and heightened sensitivity to flavors. There you go.
So is your mouth tasted different, not the water?
So what it does is it changes like the makeup in your saliva. So when you drink the water, it tastes wacky because your saliva's going down with it. And it's like, yeah, I can't. There's no other way to describe it than like.
And does
you know,
food taste different?
Yeah, a little bit, like, but mainly water because water's like
Good
a
water,
clean.
no
You can like
taste.
really
Yeah.
tell. But like the only way I can describe it is like, you know, like after you vomited and then you take a drink,
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
it's like, it's
Yeah, it's
like
fucked.
tangy.
Yeah.
It was like that for like a whole week, and I was like, because I got home and I was so excited to like, oh, I'm gonna drink our clean,
Yeah.
beautiful water, and I drank it and I was like, oh no, is this how water always tasted? But apparently not.
Massive.
that is
There
interesting.
you go.
I never
You
would have
boys
thought
don't
that.
seem as
It's crazy.
No, we're in
bombshell.
shock.
But
as
again, it's
me.
not really the water. It's more like you have a shit taste in your mouth. And mind you, if I vomited and shat for a week, I reckon I'd have a few pretty shitty tastes in my mouth as well.
Yeah, but it was strange. I was so surprised. But now it's going back to normal, so I'm happy.
Wonderful.
Finally, about damn time. But I've got a story that happened in a nightclub over there. Shout out to Luigi's. Luigi's is a Monday night nightclub.
Nice.
Just Monday.
And they play D&B, which isn't the type of music me and the boys like.
Does that mean they're closed every other day?
I don't know, but Monday's like the night that like.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe that's a big
yeah,
night.
Okay, that would make more
peaking.
sense.
I think most places are open every night over there. Just
Yeah.
because it's a party town. But yeah, so we're in the club. You know how it is, having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I know.
there's
Yeah,
lots
yeah.
lots of the boys,
It's all right, man.
lots of the boys there. We kind of break up during the night, and then a couple of my buddies ran into and met a group of girls from Melbourne.
Nice.
Melbourne.
Yeah, love
And we
it.
were like, oh, bloody some other
No.
Australian, yeah, Namcore type
Yeah.
shit, nuts. And then the nightclub closed at the end of the night, and I like went and rendezvoused with the boys and like noticed that they'd, expanded the friendship group
Yep.
to these
To the ladies from
lovely
Melbourne.
Namcore girls. And I was like, boys, what is going on here? Like, introduce us to the Namcore. So everyone was meeting each other, and I was like, they're all Collingwood supporters. I was like, this is going
Hell
really
yeah.
good, guys. This is really nice to meet you all. And then, yeah, everyone was really lovely. And then, but one of their friends had fallen ill.
Oh.
But not from Bali belly, from too many alcoholic beverages.
Right.
That's right. She was in the toilet doing yakking.
Oh, yakking,
yakko, and her friend was holding her hair back, the whole shebang. So I didn't actually get to meet those girls, but we were having a full-on chinwag with these two other ladies who were just die-hard Pies fans.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Were they at the premiership?
Nah.
Sad.
Their dads were there, so
Well,
I'm
yeah.
good type shit
Together.
too.
Sounds like they're in a loving relationship.
But yeah, I was just talking to them and we were having a good time. And I was like, it's just like everyone was just having so much fun. I was like, damn, it just feels like we're all old friends.
Yeah.
So then when their friend who was sick, who was throwing up, came to join the group, it just felt like, even though I'd never met her, their introduction of her to me was so like, it was like seeing an old friend.
Yeah, this is
So when
yakety
she
yak.
joined the group, I was like,
Good.
I was
Nice.
doing that stuff.
How fun.
And she has no idea who you are.
No,
Yeah.
no clue.
And she feels horrible
What a,
because
no-
she's sick.
what a warm welcome.
And then we were all having a good laugh about it.
All?
Yeah, including her. We
Okay.
were just everyone's like, ha, ha, ha.
If
And
you
then,
don't
she,
laugh, you cry.
and then she turned around and said, "Shut the fuck up."
To you.
Yeah. And I was like,
Mid laugh?
no, like stopped laughing and just directed
Shut
that to my soul.
Nice.
And I was like, oh. And everyone was like, oh. There
And
was
were her
no-
friends shocked that she reacted like
Everyone was shocked. And I was like, I didn't speak
that?
for the
How,
rest of the
so
night.
she's obviously been pushed to a tipping point. But how much were you going on about it?
For about 10 seconds.
Short.
Okay.
That's a short spell.
And then I was like, you know what? Fair enough. Like, never met the girl. And the first introduction of me to her is me trying to make her throw up again. And then, yeah, so that wasn't that fun. So then when we were trying to leave the club, I just went mute mode, hanged
Yeah.
back. Didn't want to be involved with any of the drama that was going to go ahead. And we were surrounded by around 25 Gojek drivers. Did I send you guys that video?
Gonna have to be more
What is a
specific.
Gojek?
Is that like a
The sure?
Bike.
Tuk-tuk?
accent?
Yeah, the bike guys. So this is us outside the club. Look at
Gang
all the
is
bikes.
fucking on.
Look at all the bikes just surrounding
It
us.
looks like
next level.
it looks like it's the start of a Mario Kart race.
Yeah.
Legit, man. And they're all just like offering us best price and stuff.
Is that annoying for them when like the bloke's sitting next to him? One guy's like, yeah,
Look
12,
how close that guy is to me.
12 but is he on him?
It's not like it.
But like when like they're bartering amongst one another to the
Yeah.
point where you're like, I could get these guys down to about 14 cents, I reckon.
Yeah.
I just keep asking.
Anyway, so I shut my mouth, didn't talk anymore. And then I was like saying to the friends, I was like, oh my God, like, is she okay? I didn't want to like come off as rude. And they were like, I've never seen her
That
say
ain't
anything
Wow,
like that before. She was like, you just awoken something
Yeah.
inside of her. And I was like, fair enough. So I went my separate ways from the group and I went back to the villa and then I got Bali belly that night. Instant karma
Yeah.
spewing.
That's good. I hope she spat in your mouth.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
And then I ended up leaving the trip early. We went like 3 or 4 days with Bali belly and then I left the trip early.
Oh, here we go.
Me and my mate left the trip early. And then I was catching up with my buddies back in Australia now that everyone had returned to Perth. And they were telling me, they were like, guess who we ran into at the airport?
The vomit girl.
Your friend.
The girls. And then they were all having a chat about how funny the night was and stuff. And then they were like, yeah, and you told our mate to go give himself pretty well.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, I don't remember that. She didn't even remember me at all. And
Yeah.
they were like, yeah, it's the podcast. He's probably going to talk about it on there.
Oh, and now that's happening right now.
Yeah, and then they wanted me to talk about it. So here we are.
Fair enough.
There you go,
It's
full
all
s-
it's come full circle.
But I was
Absolutely.
like, yeah, I was amazed that they met each other at the airport. And then she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Well,
I
she was
did
clearly
that.
probably inebriated
Yeah,
and having
yeah.
a terrible time. When I'm vomiting and I'm not inebriated, I hate life.
Yeah, and
So
hate life of people making fun of me that I've never met.
I think she's absolutely in the clear.
That's right. Everyone was
You
like,
should take a wider berth for future when you see someone having a terrible time rather than mock them, I think.
yeah, all the boys were like, oh
And
my
did
God.
they tell them that you were vomiting so much that you went home?
Yeah.
They probably did. Who got the last laugh?
Us, I guess now.
Righty, boys, something taking place at my place at the moment is a small different coordination station in the bedroom
Oh,
department. I have, before we start, which side of the bed do you sleep on?
The right side.
So that means when you get in the bed, you're right hand is off the bed if you stuck it out. Is that right?
Yeah, but I'm lying on my back. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. What about yourself?
Yeah, I interchange at mine, at ours and Olivia's. I'm always closest to the door.
What a fucking cowboy! Oh, always closest to the door.
Yeah,
That's not a bad rule.
I'm the front line of
Yeah.
defense. Not appointed by me, just appointed by fate.
So you would be the same, based on or the here anyway.
Closest to the door. Yeah.
Always closest to the door.
Nah. Not at Kira's.
Elaborate. Okay.
Kira's is the room's around the other way.
Okay, right. But you're still right hand
So
side.
you're always a right-hander.
No, I'm actually left hand there, but that's because it's against the wall, and it's a bit.
Fuck, we're just looking at a
Okay,
few
I'm
cowboys.
confused,
Okay, so you're
At my place, I'm right hand. At Olivia's, I'm left hand, but I'm always closest to the door.
Okay. Yeah.
you.
So here I'm right, which is close to the door.
Correct.
And at Kira's I do left, but that's because there's like no bedside table and stuff. It's like
Okay.
the against the wall. So I'm like, oh, it's fine. Like,
And how do you find that? Because by the sounds of things, you're literally wearing a different position whether you're a home game or away game.
Yeah.
How do you find
Never really thought about it, to be honest.
to be honest, I lie down, I go Betty boo boys,
Yeah.
and I wake up in the morning and I
that's-
take on the day.
Everyone always is like, yeah, I sleep on the right side of the bed always. But it's like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Like, what will change?
Even like if we go on like a trip, we like get down like, oh, what side should we be on? Who cares?
it's just,
Yeah.
it's never talked
Why
about.
you're literally getting up on the wrong side of the bed.
Well, I'm currently in a flux period where
You're in a hammock.
yeah.
I'm
Tough to
sleeping.
be on a side
I'm
of
sleeping
the,
across the
Because
bottom.
you're sleeping on the sofa.
Yeah. It's tough to be on a side of the bed when you're on the couch.
No, so I've always been at my place on the left-hand side of the bed, which
Yeah.
is closest to the window,
The window, yeah.
and furthest from the door.
Furthest from the door.
But again, it was because I had a bedside table
Yeah.
there initially. Now we have two bedside tables.
Nice.
And so Taylor, when she moved in, was on the right-hand side. Right?
Yeah, no bedside table.
And then I was having some terrible, terrible sleeps. So I went, maybe let's flip it. Because I think traditionally any other time I would be on the right-hand side. And at home in this bed was the only time I was ever on the left-hand side. Right?
Ooh.
And I was like, this is peculiar. Maybe I would be better off on the other side.
Yeah, okay.
Because how do you sleep? What is your, if you had to pick
Naked.
a most comfortable laying position,
It's got to be the downward dog.
what would you
Yeah,
most
yeah.
comfortable, if you
Do
had,
warrior pose.
if you had to do one position to sleep for the rest of the time, you couldn't change, what way would you consider that?
Yeah, on your side.
Which side?
So facing,
You got to face the door. I'm not a freak.
Facing door.
okay.
Yeah, so sleeping on my
Yeah.
right hand usually.
You got to
So
face the door, otherwise they can get you.
Yeah, they'll get you back. Never
Yeah,
get
So are you thinking about that? Or are you like, this is more from a comfort, not a survival standpoint?
No, I'm more worried about being got.
I'm more worried about ever being stabbed.
Yeah.
While I'm in
I would rather be
slumber.
slightly uncomfortable and not have a knife shoved into my back.
Because I loved sleeping on my stomach
Weird
Yeah.
flex.
and putting my left knee
And it's up by my ears.
left knee sort of up, so it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
sprawled
Like
So-
the survival position or whatever they call
Yeah,
it.
like you're mid crawl.
yes,
Yeah,
but my
yeah.
my left knee is on a
You're going prone.
Yeah.
my left knee's bent, my right leg is straight.
Straight.
Yeah,
Nice, dude.
and I'm facing
North.
I'm facing out the same way as my
East.
knee is up. The same
What
way that
about
my knee is
when?
up.
But
But yeah, go.
so like obviously if you're like with someone else, you sleep on one side. But then if they're not there,
You're
middle.
still
do you
sleeping on-
sleep in the middle?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you get rid of the other.
Well, the big
Cushions?
controversy at my place at the moment. So we've switched because I used to be on the left,
Yeah.
and I've tried. We're doing an experiment, and I'm
Yeah.
sleeping on the other side. The big controversy at the moment is that I am potentially sleeping in the middle, regardless of
Yeah,
whether
yeah,
or not Taylor's in the bed or not. But I reckon we did this for it's probably the third week running that I've done the switch. And the annoying thing is that my bedside table and all the stuff is still on the fucking other side of the bed. So it's like,
That's horrible feng shui.
yeah, and I think it's making me
Why
a
do you
little
move
What
that
about if you like? So your alarm goes off
And you've
you
got to crawl over it.
No. So that my phone and my charger is still there,
Elbow
but
in
like
the
everything else is on the other side of the bed. But for the first week, having the best sleeps on the other side. And I was like, this is wonderful. And it's further away from the window, and the window causes a lot of light at my place, and that annoys me. But the last week, man, I can't sleep for the life of me. Like, if it was like, okay, tonight get 8 hours sleep or you'll die. Unfortunately, I'm not even going to bother with the 8 hours sleep. I'm going to make the most because
You're picking the songs for the funeral.
Yeah, I'm not getting 8. I'm just never getting 8, and I'm never waking up in a good mood whatsoever. Damn. And initially, I thought the switch was going to be fine because with the left knee up, it's hanging sort of off the bed, so I get more room. Where in my traditional original position, that knee's in the middle of the bed.
Taylor's back.
So, but I think it's going to get to and Taylor's pretty happy to like do this full time now and switch. Ooh. And I was probably a week ago, but now I'm having.
You're reneging. What if she's like, sorry, bud, I've got the good side now.
So I think we're going to have to do a flippity again.
How about?
And then I'm going to have to
going head on the other side,
head to toe.
Well, upside down.
Yeah, sleep head at door.
Nah, here's a suggestion.
I am so bad at sleeping.
Yeah, I think maybe you should try a week sleeping in the spare room with a new pillow. I think you should give that a go.
Okay.
And maybe you should have a...
But what if I like that so much that I never leave the spare room and I'm just forever a spare room operator?
That's all right.
Okay.
Do you have an eye mask?
I hate it.
What keeps you up?
Weird.
So do you get woken up at night or you can't get to sleep?
I can't at the moment. I can't get to sleep. At the moment, average time for me to get to sleep would be anywhere between an hour or 2, which is fucked.
That's bad. The earliest I've ever fallen asleep was 3 minutes.
The only time I'll ever fall asleep that quickly is if I'm so drunk that it's not sleep. It's more of like unconsciousness.
And what's your bedtime routine? Let's fix this.
Let's break it down. We've got
6 cans of Coke, a heap of Mentos, and I go for a quick run around the
line.
Righty, boys, it's time for our favourite weekly segment. It's our only weekly segment. It's time for our Everyday Hero. Joey, take it away.
It's oftentimes our everyday hero are people doing, could be the smallest of things. Yes. But in this case, it's very different. Firstly, is it not only not a people, it's a dog.
Oh, right.
And it is someone
doing the biggest of things.
It's someone who literally saved the life of one of the most powerful men in the world.
Here we go.
Oh, what an opening. This could be one of the... Just let you guys know, this could be one of the teary-eyed ones.
Oh.
I'm going to get that off top. That's right. The hero for this one goes to Hurricane. Hurricane was a Secret Service dog, right, who in 2014 saved Barack Obama while he was in the White House as an intruder jumped the fence and got into the White House complex.
Wow.
Hurricane sprung into action and took down the man, but he did take a foot to the face, resulting in the removal of his teeth, which were then replaced by some titanium.
The dog's got titanium teeth.
Yeah.
That is a mad dog.
It's pretty insane. Yeah, so there were 2 dogs that attacked the man. Another one was Jordan. And they got smashed by the guy, but they ended up taking him out. But the 2 dogs were beaten really hard,
taking him out,
but they didn't give up. So obviously, you're a dog, you're in the Secret Service.
Yeah,
it's a pretty intense job, but you can't do that forever. Dogs get old. So he was retired, and then he went on to be a mascot and ambassador for looking after service dogs after they're sort of no longer in the biz.
Oh.
So this is him. This is a picture of the dog. Hurricane.
Mad dog.
That is the
He's
blackest
6.
dog I've ever seen.
That was when he was 6. Yeah.
Jet black. That's sick.
Yeah, this is another great photo. So I think he's got his medal.
Titanium.
And what's he got on his back? He looks like he's got almost
Kevlar.
armor.
I don't know if they might have like a bullet. I don't know if it's like a bulletproof
now we can do
vest
Maybe it
thing as
is.
well.
Yeah, maybe.
Potentially, or a saddle for Obama to ride.
Yeah, quick.
Because maybe
Barack, get on.
if they need to open fire, maybe they want to protect the dogs as much as they can.
Yeah, it would be funny because I wonder if it was confusing because the dogs would be barking and then it would sound like they were saying bark, Barack. Do you reckon he was ever like...
Is that the teary-eyed bit?
No.
Sorry, it's Hurricane looking for me. So he was retired in 2016, and then he was the mascot of a charity. And the charity was named after him, Hurricane's Heroes, which helped to provide veterinary care for retired law enforcement dogs. And so he was sort of the mascot, obviously, and the team around him said that he was great because, like a lot of trained dogs, he's able to unlike a lot of the trained dogs, he was able to switch between like work mode and not work mode.
Right.
So he would play with kids and stuff at these events.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So,
Settle, Joe.
and obviously he's got the titanium teeth, so if something bad happened,
He would
he
kill
could
someone.
easily kill a child. But he was able to know, like, oh, this is when I'm working, this is when I'm not working.
Wow.
But the reason why he was in the news was, sadly, he has reached the end of his days.
Oh.
So he was put down
Oh.
because of his illnesses and such. But before that, his whole team that used to work with him took him around the White House for one
Oh,
final
that's
time.
nice. I like that.
And then they
how
all-
old was he when he was decided to end life?
He was 15.
Okay.
It's pretty
That's
old for a
huge
dog.
innings. Yeah. My question would be, how well did he get around the joint? It's a pretty big yard. Like, was it like they got to the end and like, fuck, we better put this dog down? Like,
Yeah,
he's dying in a
This
good way.
this visit was not a good idea.
He didn't intend for it to be the last trip around the yard.
And then so on his final day, the whole team that he worked with in the Secret Service came over to the new house that he was living with as a pet in Washington.
Nice.
And the whole team was there as they put him down. And the guy who started the charity said that he could be out biting and doing apprehension all day long, but when he came home, he was a loving, caring, kind soul.
Yeah, nice.
So I just think he's like the picture of the
he's
ideal
a mad
dog.
He looks so heroic.
That's a cold pick right there. How is he so jet black? I just don't understand.
Yes, I thought.
His fur is
like
so
our leather couches make him look even blacker still.
So I thought he's a good everyday hero. He was doing his job, protecting the president, which is
El
a
Presidente.
very important job.
Very important job.
But then also he's got a soft side to him, which
Yeah,
everyone.
I like that he has the know-how to be like chill dog and then kill dog.
Yeah. So that's why I thought Hurricane. We could honor him as in his passing, and he could get the everyday hero.
We love it. This week's Everyday Hero, episode 233's Everyday Hero is going to Hurricane
Woof woof.
for being one of the greatest service dogs that ever lived. Love your work, Joey boy. Alrighty, boys. Big news for next week's
Massive.
episode.
Massive news.
Some fantastic news. It's very rare. I take that back. It's very often that we sit in these chairs and tell you what we plan on doing, and it is very rare that we then remember what we said and then follow through on what we promised.
It's a lot of fun to say you're going to do something.
I would say it's almost more fun to say it.
Yeah.
Then
Then
do
it
it.
You get a good kick out of it. Almost as if you did the thing.
But now having done it, I disagree, and I think
Yeah, doing is also good.
doing is quite a bit better than just saying you're going to do.
And what did we say we were going to do?
Well, this is from episode 206.
Whoa.
Last week of August in 2024. Listen very closely. And I reckon we put the challenge out between now and next year. I'd like to have Dyson Hebel on the pod. So hopefully within the next 12 months, we can make it happen. That is our big goal. I want everyone at home to hold us account. But yeah, I'll wait for the dust to settle and then we'll put the feelers out for Big Dyso and then we'll see if we can get him on between now and let's go, Father's Day of next year. It's a weird time, but
Let's get him on.
before the end of next season, we want Dyson Hebel on the podcast.
Let's bloody do it.
Fucking spoiler alert, we got him on the pod.
Oh, we got him on the
Done
pod.
and dusted.
Dyson Neville is joining us on the podcast this time next week. We've actually already recorded.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
There would have to be a catastrophic hard drive / recording issue for this episode not to air. And let's not even touch wood. I'm that confident about it.
Famous last words. Yes, we recorded it just before we recorded this episode.
Whoa.
Whoa, that's right.
A bit of a
Double-header.
peek behind the
Yeah.
old Forey. Fantastic. He's just a fantastic guy. For those playing along and who are maybe unfamiliar with his work,
He's a fantastic die.
He he played 253 games for the Essendon Football Club.
Yep.
He went on to then be the captain of the football club for I think 5 or 6 years, like a while.
Yeah, he started in 2017 as captain, right?
Yeah. And then obviously all the supplement saga took place during his time at the club. He was very young when it all first initially started. I think 2012 was when it all kicked off. But then they weren't actually I guess the consequences hadn't necessarily kicked in from a punishment standpoint until 2016. So he sort of, a large percentage of the first part of his career was working through that. And then the second part was all right, I hope you enjoyed that. Do you mind being the captain of the club now? But he just, the way in which he's gone through that whole process is a real testament to the character that he is. We make mention to it in the show that he's probably my favourite footballer of the last decade or so. And I think that sentence would still be true if he never actually stepped foot on the ground. I just really appreciate the individual that he is, the sort of character that he is, the values that he has, and the way in which he holds himself at all times. And a lot of the stuff that we've mentioned, because we've made mention to him on the podcast over the last 4 years, probably more than anyone else ever.
It's
not
gotta
even
be
footy related.
The Warner family
Yeah, the Warners do get up and about on the pod.
and Dyson Heppel.
Yeah. I had a dream about the Warner family, actually, now that we make mention to it. What was I
So
doing?
you did fall asleep. What side of the
Yeah.
bed were you on when you had this dream?
Where was I? Oh, do you want to hear it? We might as well. Fuck
Yeah,
it. This
yeah,
is so tapped.
Rip
And the
in.
Warners get yet another epic mention.
I had a dream the other night, and it must have been I was at a Big W, right?
Yeah.
For example, this is so weird, but this is just what dreams are, right? I was at a Big W, and there was a thing over the
PA system.
PA system saying we've got Sydney Swans Monopoly versions,
Oh, huge.
and for the next 20 minutes, we've got 10 that are going to be only $20 each, right?
That's good for
And I was
Monopoly.
like, fucking, that's unreal. But the caveat was that you had to go over there and explain to the individual working there why
Why you
you
needed it.
deserved it. The weirdest part, the person dishing out the respective monopolies
Yeah.
was the mother of the family.
Oh,
and then I
right.
had to explain to her
Mrs.
who I...
Warner.
Yeah, I had to explain to her who I was and why I deserved a kid, a thing. And I think I just went with, I'm just a huge fan.
Oh,
Didn't
right.
make mention to
The junior footy and basketball we played.
yeah,
Yeah. fair.
anything to do with that. But yeah, and then I woke up and I was like,
Did
well,
you
that's...
get it?
Yeah, absolutely. And she loved it.
You
She was
woke up and the Monopoly box was
It's
sitting
there.
at the
That
end
That
of
is
your
so
bed.
hectic. In the sense that I would never have thought about that. And you just brought that up and then it's just twigged a weird memory that I have
That
not
is
thought
crazy.
about. I don't even know when I dreamt about it. It was this week though.
I also had a dream last night about the interview.
The Dyson Heppel interview.
Yeah, my dream was that.
I've had a few of them. I had a dream that I slept through it.
And my dream was that for some reason, the Zoom wasn't working, so he just recorded his interview,
With
and
no
then we
questions.
were gonna
We'll ask you questions based on
Yeah.
your answers
Yeah,
to
yeah.
know. Yeah, you just talk
Yeah.
and we'll find a question that suits.
yeah, which is actually almost not the first time we've done that.
Let us know if you
And
can
then
tell
in
which
the
are-
dream, right, he finished, and we were like, "That's great." And then I went on the thing. I was like, "He wasn't recording."
Oh.
That was my dream. And then
I,
when we were
I have
doing it-
nightmares about that every time we get a guest on. It's like, how could this possibly fuck up? And then basically every potential available way to ruin a show comes into my mind.
And then because of my dream, when we were recording, I did keep on thinking, I knew I pressed record on the Zoom and it said recording in progress. But the whole time, because there's no red light,
Yeah.
I was just like, I feel like it's not recording.
You did look at him at one point. Riley
I
got up
asked him to check, but it was like,
I don't know how to do that.
It was just terrifying as well. The thought of touching a device
Yeah.
that's in recording
Hot device.
makes me so nervous. Because that would just be also weird for him when he's chatting and then Riley's whole head takes up the screen
hello, buddy. Good
Don't
jump
mind
scare.
me.
out of nowhere.
No, it was a great chat.
It was
We should ask
weird.
people about their dreams.
Weird tangent. But yes, it was a great chat with Dyson Heppel. He's a fantastic guy. The work that he's doing with young Harrison and for the I'm terrible at it. Sclerodoma Foundation is sensational, and yeah, it's a true testament to who he is as an individual. Our chat, whether you like footy or
you
not,
definitely get a lot out of it.
doesn't really matter. Like, it's more of a chat about who he is. We don't mention stats or anything to do with
We don't break down a gameplay.
we go through tape for the first 25 minutes, and then
That's the thing. When we asked him best advice, and I thought it'd be really funny if he was like, "Yeah, like when you kick, you want to really hit it with like," because that's probably actually is someone's best advice. Is like,
Yeah.
or if you do this on,
Lace the thing.
yeah.
If you hold the footy like this and you drop it down, it'll go.
Yeah.
It'll spin backward.
Yeah, like when you run, you really want to just lift your legs a little bit high. It's like completely changed my game. It's like,
that's literally funded my entire life. At this point. When my junior coach said to kick through the ball, that's really helped. But no, he's an absolute jet. He's just a lovely guy, a really cool individual, and a really fun chat. But yeah, passes the pub test 1,000 times over. Superstar. So stay tuned for that one. That'll come out next week, which is very exciting because the footy kicks off properly next Friday. So you can listen to Dyson in the morning and then bloody get home, sink 100 cans and watch the footy.
hell yeah.
Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Cruisy boys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Until we do this time next week, stay safe, stay blessed, and always remember to
Go give your mum a hug.
It's ciao for now, but not forever. Thank you so much for being a part of the pack. If you enjoyed this week's episode, make sure to leave a little comment in the Spotify box below telling us what you liked. Or slide into our DMs. That's right, they're nice and juicy. They're very wet in there. You can slide in, or you can just tell a mate.
Share it with your mates.
Just share it with your mate.
Share it with the lads or the girls.
Oh yeah, just share it. Just share it around. Tell people that you're enjoying it, and tell people that you like being a part of a community. The pack. Without you guys, we're just Mac. But with you guys, we are the Mac Pack. Thanks, guys.